back, baby. Can't go away. Just can't go away. It's been a tough week for the old fodder move. I'm not gonna get into the details, but I went on a nice little vacation, which was awesome and fun. Then I brought along a little mini modular setup, not the Nord, but like a Eurorack thing in one of those 4MS pods, so it's like 42 HP long. And I made some videos with it, but the sound isn't that super exciting. But what did help was that it helped me to see clearly how I could make a new kind of video, something between what I do here and what I've done with Eurorack stuff before. It's going to be a bit more scripted than what I do in the podcast, which is all improvised straight to 2-inch quarter track tape. But I hope it'll still be useful to the viewers. And it also made me realize a couple of buddies of mine here doing a live show to celebrate this really great synth shop that's having its 10th anniversary. And I'm not going to be playing at that show, but I realized I like YouTube as an outlet for what I do in music, and even if it seems like I've been kind of falling off the last couple months, I want you all to know it's not that I've been ignoring music. I just trying to get good videos to upload. I mean, these streams are a music delivery system that I think works, but I don't want to stick only to this. I want to have other forms of YouTube video on this channel, although I might start a second channel if it's too different. I even want to do some DJ mixes, but that's still a couple weeks off. I'm still putting it all together, so a little patience, please. I would appreciate it. And until then, even if they're not every day, I'm going to keep on doing these streams whenever I can, because I love doing this. This is the ultimate. I mean, I like doing more than one thing, but if I only could do one thing, it would probably be this thing. So with that said, today I think we're just going to make a little interesting melodic machine. Someone commented on a previous video and they said, "Nice noodle." And I thought, I wonder if people still know what a noodle is. A noodle, of course, is when you set up a modular synth to run without any user input, and it will make its own music. I often refer to this as generative music, or sometimes used to be called stochastic music. Stochastic meaning something like not completely random, but semi-random. And yes, there's a difference. I'm not a math guy, but there's definitely a difference. So for this one, I certainly did have an idea, and I'm going to try it out. And if it sucks, then I'll try something else. But I'm going to tell you what it is just as I build it, because that's what the idea was. So the general plan for today is some kind of generative music machine, but within that, the first voice is going to be a 3-oscillator voice. All those oscillators are going to be set to square waves, and they're all going to have different amounts of pulse width modulation at different speeds. So it should be a big square wave sound that's very heavy and how else can I describe it? Well distributed, harmonically complex. That's an even better way of describing it. It should have a lot of harmonics in it. So there's the 3 oscs. I've set them up at different octaves to each other, one up, one down. I set them all to square wave, and I opened up the pulse width amounts, although the exact amount isn't clear yet. So certainly now I'm going to need to mix them together. I do that with a little mixer module here. And this, by the way, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I might get it. I was trying to plug it into the output. It's pretty stupid. This, of course, is still subtractive synthesis. This is not FM or anything crazy weird like that. Having 3 oscillators all set to square waves is something you could do on a mini Moog, for example. You wouldn't have another LFO left over, so I don't know how you'd sweep the pulse width. You might need an external LFO source or something. But, yeah, I mean, it's a traditional enough VCO, VCF, VCA setup. It's pretty normal. And we've dropped this is the classic low-pass filter. I love this one. I'm going to open it up a bit right at the start because I know I'm going to want to hear the pulse width on this tuned up oscillator, and if I leave it at the default, I won't hear it. It's at 24 dB. That's the classic Moog filter, or that's one of the response rates of it. Okay, so we are going to need a clock, just not a huge surprise. Was I going to do... I wanted to do something odd here with the clock, but I think I'm going to make it normal to start, and I'll go back and screw with it later. That's probably a good idea. So let's just get this guy going for now, and we'll get his old friend, the key quantizer. It's funny how often I use a key quantizer in Nord Modular, which is practically all the time. But in hardware, I don't own a dedicated quantizer. I have the Disting, which can be a dual quantizer. And actually, I was learning a lot about the Disting on that weekend because it was part of my mini machine that I brought with me. Although I didn't end up using it in quantizer mode too much. So we're going to use the gate out from NoteSeek B to be the gate in here. And it's set to 16 steps. I may mess with that too, but for now it's probably fine. So here we should get a sound now. Oh, what did old Frank do wrong? There we go. Of the pulse width modulation being swept yet. So let's get that going. It's always E. That's what I always forget. Oops, it's not always E. It's always something. Nope, not that. It's always this guy. Son of a... Which guy is it? I thought I already made C. There we go. It's always C. That's what I said. Okay, so I got 3 sine waves here. I'm going to turn them down a bit from the default. And I'm going to wire them in one at a time. Here we go. You hear that motion already with just one. Pretty good. Let's try this. Going down another octave. Nice. That might be a bit much. I'm going to open up the sweep. That's really weird, but cool. I'm just listening to that being cool, sorry. There we go, now who's cool? Okay, so let me just dial back the sound and analyze what we're doing there. By turning the pulse width modulation amount past midnight, past 12 o'clock, I made it so that the modulation can actually knock the square wave completely out of the audible zone. So that means, because they're on different rates, sometimes the top oscillator disappears, sometimes the bottom, sometimes the middle. That's why you sometimes hear a lot of bass, sometimes hear more treble. That was certainly interesting from an experiment point of view, but I think I'm going to bring them back to before midnight here, so their pulse doesn't get so slim that we lose them. It is quite a complex and thick sound. When we're building other voices around it, we're going to have to be careful not to step on its toes. And I just want to point this out, so I'm going to bring the volume down again. The filter is being run on a clocked random step generator being fed into its input. But its input is only barely open at 24. In other words, 0 is, let's say, 7:30, and it's currently at 9. And I also noticed that even a little bit of changes to the frequency knob also make a massive difference in the sound. Just listen along here. If you go like this, you get too much high end and it's too prickly. If you go even this far, it's going to cut off some notes completely. I think I would rather lose them or have them very muffled than have too much spikiness. So I'm going to keep it down there. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit more out of here. Oh, what might work is keyboard tracking. I don't know if the issue might be that the oscillator is detuned, not that it's being fed high tracking information, so that may not work. It's a very nice sound. And I like this. This is a 15-step sequence. But it sounds very melodic and interesting to me. So I'm going to try and develop drums that work with it, which may not be that easy, but I'm going to try. Since we've got quite an exotic, or this sounds to me, this sounds like an old school synth sequence, like a little bit similar to what you hear on like Stranger Things soundtrack, which is done in a very old school synth way. Part of me wants to dial down the uppermost oscillator. I just think it sounds better. Two guys doing what they're doing sounds great to me, the middle and low one. Okay, so it's time to make some drums. Let's make some drums. It's not a 16-step sequence, so my drums may end up being a bit atypical. Let's call them atypical. What's my usage? I'm at 66. I'm going to give myself a third drum here. I don't care who says anything about it. I'm going to move these processors here. Put my drums in the middle column. And I just realized I'm going to need a bigger mixing desk for this. So here's 8 inputs. That should do it. And back to life. Okay, great. Where's my third drum? Third drum, come on down. And the two most obvious ways to clock them are event sequencer and the pattern generator. So I'm not sure which is going to work better, especially in a 15-step environment, but I'm going to try setting them to 15. So I'll get something which is coordinated to a clock, but it's a pretty weird time signature, so that in itself should make it sound weird. And since this one is just a pattern generator, I have very little control of what it actually does. I'm going to start with this one for now. I'm just going to work on these by intuition here. I'm not starting with kick, snare, hi-hat. I think I want like a gong-ish or cymbal-ish sound here, so I'm going to start. I'm going to connect the output first. Now the percussion. Okay. It's interesting. So what if I have like a repeating pattern here and feed him perk 3 and 4 are like little like hand drums, like conga type drums. So one of them is going to be following a repeating pattern, and the other one is going to be pretty random, but they are both going to be 15 steps. So there they go. This is, I guess, some kind of like pseudo tabla type stuff I'm going for here. Just experiment with sending this clock random step generator to the pitch input. That's good, and while I'm at it, I'm going to send this to the pattern generator to make it more random. Oh wait, it's not even plugged in. Okay, good job. The other tabla. I'm just going to mute our main voice here so we can hear. So before I put the pitch in, this is what it sounded like. The only thing I don't like is when they both hit at the same time, because it's a little bit what a conga player wouldn't do. I don't know about tabla player because I'm not an expert. But let's try feeding the pitch of one. See, tabla drums, of course, can be pitched up or down by putting pressure on the drum head. I don't think they're quite as high pitched as some of these are, but let's see if we can solve that. We've done this before, where we mix two signals in a CV mixer, and we feed one of them a standard number. Where's that? Constant. So I don't know if I want a positive or minus number in here, but I'm trying to prevent too many high-pitched notes. Okay, I'm still getting high-pitched. What if I invert this? So it's basically minus 30ing everything that comes out of here. That's good. So now it's only offering lower pitched notes. This is all good. I'm liking it. Let's see if we can do a little bit with velocity while we're at it. I wonder what this will do to velocity to this. Get very quiet. What will it do to this? Kind of messed it up too much. Let's take them out. Just do Control Z and Z. There we go. Okay, to mitigate that, let's try doing the same thing. I'm going to actually make another one of these. Just to get a different signal. So I'm going to feed this into input 1. And this one already had plus 49 inverted. I don't think we want it inverted, but I don't think we want it as high as 49. I think this seems more reasonable. So this should always give us a positive velocity. Sounds good. Let's try the same thing into here. It's certainly interesting, and I can hear the notes sort of wobbling in the background, but you have to listen too hard to hear it. Okay, here's a crazy idea. What if we took a clock divider, divided the clock by 15, because there's 15 steps in the sequence, and send that to a clocked random step generator, and send that output to the pitch. Now that's crazy. So it has the same clock as everybody, but it should only advance one step, well, approximately when a bar changes, when a 15-step bar changes. Oh, that's velocity, I mean pitch. It's not changing on the bar. Maybe this needs to be 60, 4 times 15. Is that really what it needs? Let's just make a new module to force it all to reset. Okay, there's a pitch just changed after 4 bars. No, 60 is too many. Let's try 30 and see what we get. I'm going back to 15 again. I think I like it there. And we've listened to percussion for so long, why don't we bring the voice back in? part of me almost wants to slow it all down a bit. Let's see if that was right. I like it, but I don't know if I like the pitch modulation here. I think all the drums need to be up in volume. There we go. And I think I'm hearing one more thing. Oh, what is my battery at? Oof. Okay, let's go do it quick. I don't want to rush it. What I was hearing in my head was like a drone, like a root drone that was just sort of below everything and in key on the root of the note, since the sequence ends right with just a note at the bottom. This is crazy. I never patched it up this way, but I'm just freeballing it. I'm not even gonna make a envelope. I'm just gonna friggin' feed a drone oscillator into channel 5. I know, I'm crazy. So I definitely want to go 2 octaves down, if not more. And that's it. I'm just gonna friggin' do it. Try to stop me, low battery computer. Here we go. Yep, that's the right note. That's kind of awesome. It's awesome because I've never done it. I told myself I was going to do more drone stuff on Modular. I'm thinking about hardware Modular at the time, but here we are. Baby. Oh, I went over the processing power. Amazing. Wasn't even watching that. Luckily, I can delete these since I'm not using them. I can have my final LFO here. There we go. I have it change the spectral shape. It's not doing it. Can't I hear anything? Hold on a sec. It's weird. Send some different LFOs to those. It's cool. color. It's losing. I think this is it. Mother, brother. Too many modules. Okay, it's still pretty good though. I'm gonna bring the voice back in and just save it because we're out of time here, folks. Hope you like this as much as I do. Can I get to C1? Wait a minute. That's too much. It's awesome. Awesome patch for awesome people. Let's save this, baby. I hope you enjoyed the sheer recklessness of this patch, as I sure did. This is patching with no safety net, and it's called Guru 15. Guru for the Indian guru and drone undertones. 15 for being 15 step. Save it in the synth, and you win. There it is. Okay, we're out of power, we're out of time, we're out of everything. It's been brilliant. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's just listen to the guru as we fade out. Peace from Father Moo, and see you next time.